Good evening, friends, followers, and channel members. Oh, it's been so long. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be feeling human again after an absolutely awful week. You've all been there. You all know what man flu is like. It's awful. But yeah, great to be back, and a Sunday night flight. And I thought, you know what, for the first one back, let's have a flight of substance tonight. Let's do a decent length 2-hour holiday flight. We're in Birmingham this evening, and we're going to be hanging out to Palma De Mallorca, which of course is a fantastic holiday destination. So guys, thank you so much as well for being here. What did you think of the new intro? I'm laid up feeling absolutely rubbish for the last week or so. I thought, you know what, I think we need to perhaps spruce this up a little bit. So I thought, let's try and make the intro a little bit something new, something a little bit better. And Captain HNW says, now I know what we've been up to for the last 10 days. Didn't take me that long, but yeah, did take me some time. But guys, thank you. I hope you liked the intro. And yeah, that's the way our streams are going to start, rather than just sat there with a little countdown timer. I thought, let's have something a little bit more cinematic as well. And let's be honest, the graphics that Microsoft Flight Simulator can give us allows us to do something like that, which is exactly what we're after. So a big shout out to everyone joining us this evening. Welcome on board. Hey, Lemon Wolf, Leanna, Jay, Hagnafelli, David, Punish. If you are not getting any email links from the SimSmart guys, most likely that will get sorted for you tomorrow. Obviously, they're closed over the weekend, so we'll hopefully try and sort that out for you tomorrow. Captain HW, good morning. Oliver, Phil, hello. Christian, trust you to check the spelling mistake. You know, I sent that intro out to my mods and said, check through this, see what you like, and they were like, oh yeah, just need to change this. Spotted it, great, good to go. On the first rollout of it, we spot a spelling mistake. Thanks, Christian. I have seen that in the I've seen that your little DM, so thank you for thank you for that. We'll get that sorted in a little bit for the next one. So yeah, welcome guys. Hey Nigel, hey Elliot, good to see you as well. Flight Sim 1001, thank you so much for becoming a channel member as well. Flight Sim 1001, really appreciate that. Welcome to our first officers lounge. And Leanna celebrating 1 month of channel membership as well. Great to be feeling better. Thank you so much, Leanna. And the legend Dark Fury now celebrating 27 months of training level, captain level membership, and it's great to be back. Thank you so much. And a big shout out as well to our viewers over on Twitch. Hello, hey Lemon, good to see you. Shadow Warp, any chance of a fly by wire stream? I'm sure we can do that for you. Great aircraft. Love to fly the Neo as well. So yeah, right. Let's have a look at the operational flight plan. I'm going to get that pinned into the chat in a moment, so just bear with me one minute, and then we're going to go through our brief before we head out to the aircraft and get sorted. So if you're watching on YouTube, our operational flight plan is now pinned into the chat as per usual, so you go ahead, download that and follow it all through with us. So the great thing now about summer is we get to do some beautiful evening flights with the sun lasting obviously later on into the evening, which is great views, great sunset streams, which is exactly what we want. Hey Danny, hey Barry, good to see you guys, thank you so much. And Phil celebrating 10 months of channel membership, thank you as well, Phil, for your commitment over the last 10 months. Thank you so much for being here tonight as well. Right, let's have a look then and go through the operational flight plan. So just bear with me a little bit. I have rejigged the way we set up some of my streaming stuff, so I apologise if it's not quite as seamless as it is whilst we're getting that all sorted. So let's have a look, see if we can get the operational flight plan up. There we go. So let's go through this before we head out to our aircraft. So here we're on the pilot's briefing room. We're going to go through everything that we need to do. So let's have a look then. Our payload today, look at that, 15.2. We are full tonight. Every seat is full, which means our underload isn't that great. Takeoff weight 66.9, so yeah, close to 67 ton for departure. 2-hour flight, so quite a bit of fuel expected. Costing think it says 4, that's normal. Flight level 370, yeah, will we get up to that on the way out? Probably might need to step climb that. 0 fuel weight, 59.3, and a little tailwind as well helping us out there. So, runway 33 for departure, ADMEX 1 Mike departure, and we've actually got the lower as 1 kilo in there. It's not going to be the lower as 1 kilo, that's a SimBrief error. It's going to be the lower as 1 Papa arrival for runway 24 left. Let's have a look at the, what was the alternate? Sorry, the alternate, Barcelona is the alternate. Plug fuel is just under 8 tons, CNR then is 2.5 tons. Yeah, it's not massive leap, is it, from Palma up to Barcelona? So CNR's quite low. Let's have a look at the flight plan itself. So obviously going down through France, then about an hour and a half into the flight we'll just be getting over some of the terrain, which we can just bring into our brief. Just be aware of that. Then about an hour and 25 minutes in, just be aware that that's kind of not a danger point, but a point to be aware of in case we get a depressurization or anything daft like that. So to be aware of that. And then we're on the arrival into Palma. Loving the weather this evening, pretty much all the nines. Palma looks good all the way through. Look at that, very light crosswind. Barcelona's all the nines as well, so that's fine too. Let's just see what else we've got then. So the weather brief. We've got Palma at the moment. So there's a few towering cumulus around. Have we got forecasts for thunderstorms or anything like that? Doesn't look like it. What is the date today? Haven't been out of it for last week. We've got an idea what the date is. So it's the 4th today. So yeah, looking at this, there's nothing going to stop us getting in. It's going to be fine. A few towering cumulus. Might need to just skirt around those, but 3,000 feet is probably not going to cause us too many issues. I would imagine Barcelona is pretty much the same as well, looking at that. Yeah, that is pretty much the same actually. So no real weather concerns to speak of. Let's have a look at the at these charts then, and look at, I love this. Never have I seen a map of Europe so beautifully outlined with cumulonimbus clouds. It's brilliant. Look at that. It literally traces the land outline. I mean, it makes sense, obviously. Cumulonimbus clouds, you know, convective current clouds, which you get over the land. But I just think that is brilliant. That is. I've never seen anything quite as accurately depicted as that before. So yeah, and they're reaching up to 41,000 feet this evening. So don't be surprised if we see some clouds in that once we get over France. It's starting to get dark there as well. Yeah, nature's way of painting, indeed. Yeah, so just need to be aware of that. So yeah, I might have to just avoid a few things. Other than that, it's fine. That's that terrain we spoke of. I've looked through the no times as well for our departure already. Let's just quickly go through. I mean, there's nothing in Birmingham. Birmingham's pretty much, there's a crane and that's it. Now Palma, let me just have a look at this. June 2nd. Okay, that's the North Taxiway is closed. That isn't applicable tonight. Oh, actually it is, but not until 11:30. So I don't think that's going to affect us. Now runway 24 right. We're planning runway 24 left. 24 right. Is that closed? Again, yeah, after 11:30 tonight. So don't need to worry about that. Approach procedures. That's 24 right. ILS unserviceable. Again, we're planning 24 left. So that's that is pretty much all fine, and that's Barcelona. I'm not going to worry too much about that, as I don't plan to get into Barcelona. We should probably read all that, but we're not going to. Okay, so what fuel we're going to take? Well, we can't actually take that much extra. Most we could take is at 2.5 ton. We really don't need that. The weather is far too good for that tonight. So we're going to. I think 8 ton. 8 ton should be absolutely fine. There's no reason to take any more. Let's go 8.1 just for a little bit of maybe holding time or anything like that. But 8.1 ton should see us right. Okay, so let's just have a look, see if we've got anything that we need to look at charts wise. So we're parked, where are we parked? We're parked at stand 58 today, so this is going to be a straightforward taxi, I'm reckoning. So yeah, Victor, Delta, Echo. I don't know Birmingham that well. Echo, and then if we can go via Echo 1, that'd be nice. We'll have to check the EFB, see if we can do that. If not, it's going to be full length Sierra, but Echo 1 would be nice. Let's have a look at the departure. So there's a speed restriction there. Once we get in the aircraft, we'll have a look, because we'll probably have to pre-select something like S speed, something like that. And yeah, that's straight out over Coventry Airport as well, little private airfield. Chris Hogg, good evening, Chris. How are you doing? Hope you hope you are well. No turns below 840. All right, so I think pretty much that's straightforward. Shall we? Now we've been through all of that, should we get in our aircraft, start setting her up, and start letting passengers on board. Let's get in our flight deck. So here we are, Birmingham, not a cloud in the sky. It's been another gorgeous day here in the UK. It's been gorgeous now for quite a while now. So let's get in our aircraft. Here we are. Alright, so let's just check then. Usual stuff. Aircraft in the turnaround state, so we got nav logo lights, they're fine. Fuel pumps are off, packs are off, APU is off, we're on ground power. The acupressure in the green, we've got spoilers, flaps, parking brake is set, currently squawking 2000, and I think we've got some ATC tonight. Let me just see, have we got any air traffic control tonight here at Birmingham? Doesn't look like it. We did have earlier on tonight, but I don't think we do, and I don't think London North cover Birmingham either. So I think we're out of luck. Andy, if Andy's here, sorry Andy. Yeah, we've got no ATIS to speak of tonight, according to that. Okay, well if that's the case, then let's bring up the ATIS in the Fenix tab. But I think we can start getting things loaded, can't we? So if we GSX our way through, we'll request our boarding. Service there don't exist anymore.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so you can now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Lovely. Alright, so let's have a look. Pushback in 9 minutes, I don't think so. So we've currently got really light winds. Wind 060 at 9. We've got Cav OK. It's varying 030. 2090. So northeasterly. Cav OK. 18 degrees and QNH is 1024. Flight Sim, too hot for you. Put the paddling pool up to try and cool down. Did you just stick your feet in it? That's meant to be like a great way to cool down, isn't it? You get freezing cold feet, and that cold blood then gets circulated obviously by the body around the rest of the body and cools it down. I don't know if that's true or not. I just remember reading that once. Yeah, and a quick look what's happening in Palma. 24s, yeah, runways, runway headwind straight down there, and there's the confirmation of the town and QRS. Wonderful. Okay, that's fine. Let's go through, set that up. So 1024. We'll get onto Unicom in a moment. VHF2, that's on the guard already. Good. Last pilots were doing their job correctly. 1228, we'll get that sorted in a moment. Switch your panel, thrust levers, engine mode, master selection, they're fine. And initial climb out, according to the charts, was 6,000 feet. Let's set that up. Get the constraints on. 1024 to QNH. Lovely. Right, let's set up the box then, shall we? So just get our data page. IRS 3.5 greens. Aircraft status. Yeah, air cycle still valid. Good. And let's do our init request then. Hey FlyCivic, good evening to you on Twitch, hope you're well. Right, our flight number today, surprisingly enough. So, as well, I don't know if you've read in the news, if you're geeky like I am, EasyJet are opening a new base here at Birmingham, so I thought that's why we'd do the flight from Birmingham this evening. So yeah, that's essentially why we're doing a Birmingham flight down to Palma. This flight normally flies out in the morning as well. Took off this morning, takes off again tomorrow morning. But yeah, I don't like changing the time too much. I prefer lifetime, particularly now we've got a nice sunset to fly through as well. Gareth Morgan, mate, thank you so much for your channel membership. Welcome to our first Officers Club. And remember, if you are a channel member, to link to get on our Discord server, link the Discord to your account, your YouTube account, and then you can get into the members lounge and check out our members only streams as well that we've done. Right, where is my operational flight plan? Let me just check that out. Tropo 36769. 36769. Download the winds. So that's fine. Clear that. IRS in it. Let's get up the coordinates, see what the aircraft's showing us. So, have we got coordinates here on this page? Possibly. Where are we? Stand 58, so we should be showing 52.273 north, 2 north, that's fine, and 144.0 west. 144.0 west, perfect. Okay, happy with those. Cruising flight level 370, and temperature is minus 57. Okay. I'm just going to tell the ground crew how much fuel we want. So we said we were going to load 8.1 tons of fuel from the ground. Get that in. Load that up. And let's do our flight plan then. So we're going to be departing 3-3 tonight. Adlink 1 Mike. Departure. There we are. And then at the other end, it's going to be the X-ray approach. Laura's 1 Papa. ILS 24 left. No, it isn't. It's the Zulu approach. My apologies. ILS Zulu 24 left. And Laura's 1 Papa arrival. Because the plan, which was 1 kilo, I think, on the sim brief, that's only in use overnight. And we're coming in via Bavum. Right, so our operational flight plan has got a distance of 830 miles, 829 miles. That is perfect. So let's just confirm that up here. Cycle through that. So there's the departure. Out over the channel, down over France, Spain, and then the perfect arrival into Palma. One of my favourite destinations. Very, very scenic approach. Probably dark when we get there, but there you are. Hey Matt, yeah, I'm feeling much better now, thank you. Okay, so that's done. Let's have a look at our init B page. Have we got our load sheet from dispatch? Let's check that out. Indeed we do. Right, let's see. Zero fuel weight is 59.3. Zero fuel weight CFG 31.2. Fuel for the alternate, according to operational flight plan, is, let's call that 1.4 tons. Fuel planning. So we're going to say 8.1. This is going to be very close to that, actually. Might even be a bit above it. Oh, 7.6, that's fine. 8.1. And that gives us a takeoff weight then 67.2. And we've got a takeoff CFG of 29.2. So this is always quite interesting for me after a bit of time off. Just seeing how well and how quickly sort of everything comes back to being able to remember how to do everything. So 33, it is of course dry. Flaps 1, don't need any of those. That takeoff weight was 672. C of G was 29. 2. Sick live weather. Right. Have we got the intersection data? We have. Excellent. So that means then we can do a slightly short taxi. Echo 1 would be preferable. How long is this runway? It's 3 kilometres. Echo 1, we could even take Charlie. Is Charlie available? I think Echo is the more preferred departure, isn't it? So there we go. 141, 141, 144. Flexing 62 and flaps 1. Okay, let's put all that into the perf page then. So transition altitude is 6,000 feet, flaps 1, flex 62. Now, can you remember the speed restriction on the departure? I think it was 220 knots. Look at what clean speed happens to be. So what we'll do is we'll pre-select clean speed. So we'll just means we can clean up as we go, but we're going to be held at 220 knots. We're going to be shooting up in our climb today. Right, let's have a look at SimSmart for thrust reduction and acceleration values. Word of the wise, these are actually all changing. These are dropping by a couple hundred feet. So thrust reduction acceleration value is now going to be 800 feet, which means I'm going to have to go through and change all of these. That's going to be annoying. But for now, we'll stick with these. So 1339, 1339. Let's update that. So 1339. But yeah, what we could do, we could do 1139, couldn't we? That's 800 feet. See how strange that finds. That feels. Oh, wrong one. So yeah, 1139, 1139, 1139 as well for the engine out. So 800 feet it is. And that's done. Right, secondary flight plan, what have we got? Let's just copy the active, and it's a left turn to Bravo Hotel X-ray, NDB, enter the hold. Okay, so let's just pop in, we'll just create a place bearing distance waypoint, so Echo, Golf, Bravo, Bravo, 326, 50 miles out. Need to just force a left turn, don't we? Because I think Bravo Hotel X-ray is the NDB and it's right on the runway, if I remember rightly. It's not even shown on that chart. Hang on, have a look at the arrival. Yeah, it's literally right there. So in order to force the left turn, we'll just go place bearing distance 01, fly heading 270, a couple of miles, and then enter the hold at BHX. Hold information 146 right turns. That's it. And then we'll be flying to Palma on one engine. Back here, and it'll be the ILS 33, no start, but I would imagine the BHX one is an arrival that we can take. So let's just check that out, see what that looks like. Yeah, straight out, left turn, enter the hold and teardrop approach back in. Wonderful. Alright, so let's just revisit our brief then. Starting with the weather as per usual, nothing really to mention, is there? Wind 0609, varying northeasterly. Cav OK. QNH 1024. Weather en route is fine until we get towards the south of France, then we might get some CBs we need to avoid. Very high CBs as well tonight, so we'll keep our eyes peeled for those. Then we've got those pretty much coming all the way down into Palma. So when we get to Palma though, visibility is fine. Wind is light and on the runway heading, so again, no concerns weather-wise for our flight this evening. Aircraft is fully serviceable. Only thing in the tech log is the weather radar. Doesn't work. No NOTAMs to affect our departure today. Threats to be aware of. Bit of unfamiliarity here at Birmingham. Little bit of unfamiliarity from myself as I've had well over a week off now. So there's a little threat. Other than that, lack of ATC is probably the only other thing, and as I say, just making sure we know where we're going with this, because I don't do Birmingham too often. Other than that, I don't think there's really much else to talk about. No terrain to speak of. As we can see, MSA is 2.5. Then as we get south of Birmingham to 2,200. So let's talk about how we're going to do the pushback, the taxi, where we're going to go, and how we're going to fly the departure. So we are stand 58. We're going to push back facing west on Victor. We'll taxi Victor Delta. Then it'll be Echo, where we're going to hold Echo 1 for runway 33. That's going to be our departure. So the departure is pretty straightforward, straight out, no turns below 840. First will be to the right, noise abatement 2. Initial climb is 6,000 feet, and we can clean up on schedule, and we've pre-selected that 220 knots, which is actually our clean speed today. Once we press above bar Echo 21, we can push to accelerate away and climb out in managed speed. Other than that, it is all pretty straightforward. So if everyone's happy, I think everyone's on board. I think we'll get the doors closed and be on our way.
Just about finished setting up, so once everyone's on board, we're happy for you to close the doors. Thanks. And once we get to cruising altitude, if I could have a cup of tea, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Let's get that APU started, shall we?
Still underway, but we're almost done. It shouldn't take much longer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our EasyJet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Thanks a lot.
Right, that's waiting for the APU to fire up. Once that's done, we'll get ground power unit disconnected. They can remove the chocks and cones, and we'll get going. Now, final check. We've got no air traffic control here. Sorry, Andrew. Nothing I can do about it, mate. Love flying at this time of day, and it's still been daylight. Yeah, there we go. APU is up and running, so let's tell ground crew they can get rid of the GPU chocks and cones. Before we do that though, we'll get the pumps back on. Disconnect the external power here. Make sure you always do this. Make sure you disconnect here on the overhead before disconnecting the GPU down below, otherwise you risk a bit of a nasty shock from the ground crew. So that's off. Okay, ground, you can now remove the GPU and chocks and cones.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and
Hello,
the cabin
Captain.
crew,
We are ready for
welcome
pushback.
you on board this EasyJet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation over here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their
Departure check completed. Bypass pin
welcome on
inserted.
board today to our EasyJet Sim pilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence, and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today.
Fantastic.
For you when we are airborne.
So we're pretty much ready to go. Before we do that, a big shout out. Welcome, Chris Morgan, to our First Officer Club. Thank you so much for your channel membership. And the legend, Dark Fury, a little bit earlier on, gifted 5 EasyJet SimPilot channel memberships as well. What a way to welcome us back, Dark, after over a week off. Thank you, mate. So welcome to Neil, Elliot, Dr. On Board, Mark, and Squiggly. All gifted channel memberships from the legend, Dark Fury. New members already coming on board for the channel this evening on our first stream back after, it's probably been nearly 2 weeks now, definitely a week and a half. So guys, thank you so much. Really do appreciate your support as we come back on and take you to Palma for a nice sunny break. Thank you, guys. Okay, so aircraft acceptance has been completed. The fuel quantity is 8.1 tons. We've checked that and that's balanced. Seatbelt signs are on. It is got 3.5 green and the power ref is 1024 set, cross-checked, and 320 feet. Okay, let's go on to Unicom. Birmingham ground Alpine 18 Mike Romeo, stand 58, taxiing facing west on Victor. Okay, so before start checklist, parking brake is on, takeoff data has been confirmed, windows are closed, EFB is on flight mode, doors are closed and armed, the beacon light is on.
Release parking brakes, please. Release parking brakes, please.
Okay, parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So got the nose wheel steering is disconnected, so engine mode selected to ignition, starting engine 1. Pack Andrew, aircraft acceptance basically means that you've been through the tech log, you're happy with the aircraft, the previous crew haven't knackered it and left it in a naff state for you, so yeah, you're basically accepting the aircraft and the conditions that it's in to go and take it on the flight. Leanne, is overlay not working? Thanks, Leanne. Let me just sort that out for you. And you can't see the mouse either.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and
Parking brake set.
Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own
Engine number 1's happy,
before
starting
helping
engine 2.
others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together.
Alpha 79 Alpha Whiskey, radio check.
Do not inflate it inside the aircraft.
Readability 5x5.
When outside,
Thank
inflate
you,
by
Gavin.
pulling the toggle. If it fails
Gaz, how
to
did I do
pull
the
the
own
engine
pilot
signal,
announcement? So are you self-loading
blow into
cargo
the tube.
for that?
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your trade
Birmingham traffic, Simax 212 taxiing
window blinds
via
open,
Foxtrot
and
holding
seatbelts
short.
Unlocking gear.
We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
Stansted traffic, Blue Max 318 Vector descending through flight level 230 on the Listo 1 Lima for the ILS 04, flying direct from Bombo to Laurel for debark for the correction the Laurel transition for ILS 04.
Flight simmer. If your primary flight display is showing lever A sim here, just means that your thrust levers aren't both in the exact same position, both engine 1 and engine 2. So one is either giving slightly more power than the other. So they're asymmetrical, basically. You need to just line them up. So give them a slight nudge and it'll usually knock it into the correct descent. Right, ground of just settle left clear, right clear. See you walking around there.
Whiskey, Echo and Sierra to runway 33.
Hang on. Ah, there she is, showing us the pin. Okay, so engine mode selector then back to normal. I'll get one of the packs back on, keep the passengers happy. That can come off, that can come off, and we're set the trim. And the after start checklist. Anti-ice is off. VCAM status is checked. Just check that's pack 2 error. Yep. And pitch trim is 29.2 and rudder is neutral. Birmingham traffic Alpine 18 Mike Romeo taxiing via Victor Delta Echo, holding Echo 1 for departure runway 33.
Birmingham traffic, Alpine 79 Alpha Whiskey, stand 6, pushback and start.
Right, ladies and gents, let's
Birmingham
go.
traffic, EZY 58 Delta Kilo, lined up on runway 33 for takeoff.
So, whilst we get moving, go full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. Okay, so quick pet check, no LMCs, all last minute changes, everything is fine, still on the flex departure. What we got? Dry figures from Echo 1, and that's the plan, that's the one we're going to be doing, so no changes. It hasn't rained, so dry figures are still fine. Engine out procedure is standard, straight out, and then once we've tidied her up, it's going to be a left turn at 1,000 or above 1,900 feet to the Birmingham NDB, enter the hold, get safe at 3,000 and we'll come back in. Just a word of the wise, we are above maximum landing weight at the moment, so just take that into account should we need to come back in. Departure is straight out MX1 Mike. First turn will be to the right, and there is a speed constraint, however we've got pre-selected clean speed, so that's taken care of, and the initial climb 6,000. A320 Geeks, good evening, mate. New base, yeah, so EasyJet have announced they're going to be opening a new base at Birmingham. It's not until a little bit later on in the year, I think, but yeah, with a couple of new routes as well. Going to, I want to say Paris and Lyon, I think. And we're taking off into the sun as well. Love that shadow. Okay, taxi flight controls have been checked. Flap setting is config 1 confirmed. FMA, we've got climbing up blue 1FD2 6000 blue. Radar predictive wind shear is on. ECAM, we've got takeoff no blue.
EC234 Bravo lining up runway
stowed
33.
and disconnected and thrown away.
Birmingham traffic, Alpine 79 Alpha Whiskey, we'll hold short on Yankee and to allow the company A320 passing on our right.
Hey, Gareth Morgan, no problem, mate. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming on board tonight. Jordan, Liverpool's been an EasyJet base for many years now.
On the ADX departure.
So, yeah, Liverpool is already a base and has been for a long, long time. Hey, Neil. I'm glad to be back. Mads, what FPS am I getting? No idea, mate. As long as I'm not stuttering, that's all that matters to me. It's cabin crew dinging to say they're happy and ready. I know, Panda. EJU and EZY. So EJU are EasyJet aircraft registered in Europe, and EZY are aircraft registered in Great Britain. Hey, good evening, C. Denton. Good to see you. Chris Shaw on Twitch. Happy Sunday, Chris. Hope you're doing well.
Birmingham traffic EC234 Bravo departing runway 33.
So there he is. He's going. We're going to be holding.
Birmingham traffic. Zimex 212 will be lining up runway 33 behind the departing Easyjet A320.
Do you know what? I think we may have taken a wrong turn. I think we're on Charlie, just looking at our positioning here. That is not a problem. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly redo the calculation figures, and we'll get figures for a Charlie departure. Just want to check that. Yeah, this is Charlie 1. That's fine. So 1 second. Departure. Intersection Charlie. So 33 40 40 59. Told you I didn't know where we were going. Three 40 40 59. Charlie departure. Okay. Birmingham traffic Alpine 18 Mike Romeo is lining up runway 33 via intersection Charlie. Oh, hang on, we've got aircraft in front. Correction, will line up behind the departing turboprop from runway 33 via Charlie Alpine 18 Mike Romeo. Hey CD, it's good to be back, mate.
Traffic Alpine 7 and Alpha Whiskey, we're lining up at runway 33 by Echo behind the turboprop.
Kevin, so the takeoff shift always used to be used.
Departure runway 33 on the Luzon 1 Mike departure.
Sorry, just listening to that. So that used to be used prior to the world of GPS. So you don't need to use it now. GPS does it all for you. But yeah, in the past, what you used to do is if you were doing an intersection departure, you'd have to sort of enter in there how many meters away from the original threshold you're departing from. But yeah, I don't need to do that anymore. GPS is more accurate anyway. Hey, chatters on Twitch. GPU is a 3060. Cutting in front of Dark Fury. Lineup checklist, cabin secure, takeoff runway is via Charlie, runway 33, TCAS TRA, packs 1 and 2 are off. Doesn't look like a lot of space there runway wise, does there? EFB says we can do it, so there's no reason why we can't depart from Charlie. Right, that aircraft has just departed, make a left turn, so we don't need to wait for him. He's on a different city and a different destination. So let's go. Birmingham traffic Alpine 18 Mike Romeo departing runway 33, Admix 1 Mike departure. Paranoia check. It's all good. It's all fine. Let's go. So take off. Stall chrono. 50% M1. Engine stable. Set takeoff those. Man, flex SRS runway. Let's go to Palma. Let's go to Man flex SRS runway. Checked. V1. Rotate. I'll have to put a bit of rudder in there to hold that centre line. Nav. Gears up. $800 feet AGL now, so just climb. Autopilot one engaged. Carrera, you appear to be having a heart attack in the chat. What's up, mate? Sunday night.
Birmingham traffic, Alpine 79 Alpha Whiskey, departing 33 on the Advex 1 by departure.
Okay, speed's cleaner up. Flaps up, spoilers disarmed. ATC's not around, so open climb. 200 blue. Gorgeous. Zorro DK Gaming. Yeah, so I think Chris just you sort of answered your own question there. I think Zorro. Not all airlines turn packs off for departure. It's a low-cost carrier thing, really. I think saves. It basically gives engine performance, betters your engine performance, so saves a little bit of wear and tear and fuel. Not a cloud in the sky. Is live weather broken, or is it actually just like that in Birmingham tonight? It might just be like that in Birmingham. It's been like that a lot over the UK recently. There's Dark Fury departing behind us. James, you're in Stoke and it's not like, it looks like that in real life as well. Yeah, Chris Shaw also says similar thing. And Jordan is 20 miles north of Birmingham and says he hasn't seen a cloud for days. That's okay, but where's my beautiful sunset? Always looks better with a few high-level clouds.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Right, that's 10,000 feet. Lights are off. We're on our way. Push for managed speed. Start accelerating away. Hey, Dominic. Right, so our usual things, 10,000 feet. So, progress page flight level 370, autonomous 35, maximum 37. So, I think, like we said at the brief, 35, we might have to step climb our way because we're a little bit heavy. So, 350, go 350 blue, that's fine. I'm also going to change the cruise there. 350, we'll stick with that for the time being. Cost index of 0. as usual. Radnav page. We didn't put anything in there, didn't need to.
Traffic, Ryanair 4. Correction, Ryanair 5.
And
Kilo. Yes.
clear
About
out.
to be established on the ILS.
Clear out the flight plan. So beautiful. There we go. Let's enjoy cloudless skies all the way to Palma. And just as we are doing that, Fruitbat, mate, thank you. That is incredible. Thank you for your 5 EasyJet Sim Pilot channel memberships donation, Fruitbat. Welcome to Mads, Anthony's, Chris, Morgan's, James, and Matt as well. Amazing fruit. Thank you so much. And also to Malcolm Clinton, welcome to the Captain's Club. Malcolm, make sure if you're on Discord, get yourself into our members lounge on Discord, and remember to check out the channel streams that are for members only as well. So definitely worth checking those out. That's usually the only place you'll find me crashing the aircraft as I'm practicing some daft stuff. Hey Woodcut, I'm feeling much better, thank you so much. Doing an approach, just an approach into Bilbao. Yeah, Bilbao is gorgeous approach, right down the valley. Really nice. Dominic, I do have a Discord server, yes indeed. I'm not actually sure if that's listed on Twitch, to be honest. It's listed on our YouTube, isn't it? Gonna have to get that, listed. Right, time to stretch out legs. There's some clouds over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So the Cloudbot cabin crew are out and about, serving Jordan with a beautiful bottle of champagne. Are you sharing that, Jordan, or are you just going to pop that yourself for the next couple of hours on the way down to Palma? I wouldn't blame you if you kept it to yourself, mate. Zorro, any thoughts on VFR? I would be useless now, Zorro, at VFR. Everything I knew about VFR from years gone by is just gone. IFR is far more simple and straightforward. Oh, Carl B, thank you for the welcome back. It's great to be back. Still feel it occasionally. Still feel a little bit tired. It wasn't anything sinister. It wasn't the dreaded sea, if that's a thing anymore. I only know that because I got a few test kits left over, so I thought out of curiosity, let's see, but no, it wasn't that. Woodcut says, thank you for your post on NVIDIA drivers. Reminded me to update. Hasn't done so for ages, and the sim is much smoother now. I can't even remember what driver I'm on. It's been that long since I updated it. Flight Sim, I don't use epidemic sounds. No, I've actually forgotten where they come from. But they're usually pretty decent. But yeah, it's a subscription-based service, and it's thanks to you guys who contribute to the channel that we can sort of get stuff like this in, which I think is nice. Particularly when there's no air traffic control, it's just nice to have a little bit of music tinkling away in the background. Tinkling is a professional term, of course. Tinkling music. What time's the sunset in Palma then, guys? Is it going to be pitch black? It probably won't be pitch black, will it? But I bet it's going to be dark. Annie Songle, let's see, when did Birmingham become an EasyJet hub? So, do you know what? Years ago, I think it used to be one. And then they closed quite a lot down. They closed places like Stansted, Birmingham, Newcastle. I think they closed Newcastle as well. Or was Newcastle still... Newcastle might not be a hub now. I think it used to be, but they have said that they are going to be opening it back up. later on in the year. Danny, 21:33 local time. I don't know what time that would be. Are they 1 hour or 2 hours ahead of us? James, is there payway scenery for Birmingham? Yes, there is. So the scenery that we had just there was Mako Simulations. Mako Simulations Birmingham. Not heard of anything from Mako Simulations for a while, actually. Their last one was Cancun, wasn't it? They obviously opened with Manchester, still in use to this day. No one's come along and bettered it. So there's Manchester, they've done Birmingham, and Cancun. Have they got another one? I feel like I'm missing one. Or have they just got the 3? Oh, Danny, you mean the sunset basically happened 20 minutes ago? Got you. Okay, it's going to be dark when we get there. Speedboat Simulations, did I see that EasyJet are going to be operating out of Southampton later in the year, servicing Belfast, Glasgow and Geneva. Well, they already do Geneva, Speedbird, but it's not a British, it's not the British branch of EasyJet that do that. It's the Swiss branch. They basically fly out of Geneva into Southampton and back again, usually for the skiing season. But as for Belfast and Glasgow, I've not heard about that. To be fair, they may just be operating out of Belfast and Glasgow, just flying down to Southampton. One of the really nice, neat little flights, which if I've ever pushed for time and want to try and squeeze a stream in, is a great one to do, is Manchester to Newquay. That's a great little flight to do. An account says it's not sunset where he lives for another 45 minutes. Whereabouts in the world is that, an account? What I do really like is obviously when the sun starts to set here in the sim, and obviously we've got the reflection here off at the moment off the PFDs, and these displays are filthy. Look at that. Has anyone got a baby wipe? Although, no, don't try that. I tried that on my wife's car, on the screen of my wife's car. Wiped it with a baby wipe. Thought, yeah, it looks much better. It dried and, oh, smear central. Can't read the damn thing now. Danny, if you want to get into Palma but don't fancy a 2-hour flight, what about Madrid? Madrid's a good shout. Or Bilbao. Nice. James uses the white vinegar on windows. That's a good idea. Not sure about the smell afterwards though, although I do love the smell of vinegar. It's like, it's the acetic acid. So you recall before I had sort of a week off, we were just getting a new ensuite, and obviously the smell of a new ensuite is just smells like you've washed the place in vinegar with the silicone. It's overpowering. Dark, you can take the fingerprints off, can you? I didn't know you could do that. Make it look like it's been cleaned with a wet wipe. Woodcut, you know, we do Bristol to Newcastle when pushed for time. Yeah, that's another nice, decent flight. Stansted up to Edinburgh as well. Hey, J-Hog. Had to nip out. Have you missed any failures? Bird Strat? No. Not missed any of them. Danny says, you know, that's always the case now. It always ends up spending more time looking at the flight radar map, wondering where to go, than actually flying. I know the feeling. It's a pain. You can just lose hours looking, can't you? Is that Heathrow down there? I think it is. Hey, Alan. Don't worry about being late, mate. Trying to see if we've got any traffic down there at Heathrow. Can't see anything. It's hazy, isn't it? You know, it's been a beautiful, clear day, but it is a little bit hazy. Hey, Speedbird 2037. FS Labs A320X. Do you mean the fly-by-wire A320X? Yeah, we've not. We do need to take that out for another spin because I've probably not flown that for a month or so. And Wing and a Prayer asked a similar question. How does the fly-by-wire A320X and the Fenix compare? My stock answer now, I think most will be familiar with this, is if you enjoy the fly-by-wire A320X, you would absolutely love the Fenix A320. The Fenix is just taken sort of like all the detailed systems that the fly-by-wire guys have popped in there and just taken it to the next level. Everything working basically, so you've got secondary flight plan working, the VNAV profile is more refined, stuff like that. Yeah, really, really, really good. And of course you've got all the failures as well. Not that failures are a good thing, of course. Speedbird Simulations over on Twitch. Last flight, British Airways operations Heathrow to Ibiza. 3-mile final, crash to desktop, nothing worse. Hey Seb, when do I think the AIEs will be out for the Phoenix? No time frame. No time frame, but they gave a great update a week or so ago, didn't they, about all the work that is going on, and those of you that are familiar with the channel, you guys know that I am one of the testers for Phoenix, so I can sit here and say confidently, work is progressing very nicely. You know, don't think I'm breaking any sort of NDAs by saying that, but yeah, work is progressing very, very nicely on the AIEs, version 2s, etc. And I think I spoke before about version 2 of the Phoenix and just how much better it handles, particularly with crosswind departures and landings, you know, stuff like that. Really, really good. James, that the mini cockpit, the FCU, yeah, so I have been chatting with the developers of that. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. It will be great if they manage to sort of get the full setup that they want. They want to get the full sort of glare shield done, don't they? So obviously they're just working on the FCU at the moment, but it'd be great if we get all the EFIS panel done and also a little mini radio panel, whatever else it is that they're planning. That would be absolutely fantastic. So
Going traffic, Golf Crossing Mike, flyback, come on, departure runway 08, right, VFR departure to the south.
Ben Phoenix has also tweaked some of the fonts. Yes, quite right. But yeah, the update that Amir gave out the other day was very, very long and detailed. He probably spent a good couple of hours writing that, bless him. Right, about 500 feet to go, and then we're at cruise. Leaving Old Blighty behind us as well, look. Sun's still up, isn't it? But obviously, as we're flying south now, it's going to start to drop. Can't see it. Is it still there? Oh, yeah, it's still there somewhere. Difficult to see. Ah, there it is. If Phoenix decided to develop the rest of the Airbus family, that would just be absolutely phenomenal, wouldn't it? Now, there we go, Mac Alt Star. cruise. Just double check our performance. Okay, let's leave it at 3.5. That's fine. Wonderful. All right, cruise has been reached.
Ladies and gentlemen, flight deck once again. Just to let you know, we've reached our cruising altitude for today, and we're not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and they invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our EasyJet SIM pilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
So for the cost index, then back up to 4, and TCAS can go to below as well. Turn the lights up as it starts to get dark. Speedbird simulations, performance improvements, hopefully would be better too. Yeah, a bit of optimization. I think. Do you know what amazes me, and this kind of blows my mind a little bit when I think about the Fenix aircraft? They started developing this before Microsoft Flight Simulator was even released. So they obviously had stuff to work with, but obviously until the simulator came out, couldn't really refine stuff, could they? Flight Sim 1001. What have I mapped to the engine buttons to? You know, one is spoilers, what's the other? Do you mean the lights? Do you mean those down here? These two things on my Thrustmaster thrust levers. Yeah, so one's mapped to spoilers. I've no idea what the other one's mapped to. No idea. It might not even be mapped to anything. It's starting to drop now. You can see a little rusty tinge of red on the horizon. Kevin, you got yours mapped to spoilers and parking brake. Well, because I've got the flaps lever as well, the parking brake's included on that, so I didn't need to map that one.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payments in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
That's it. The Nightbot is alive and working. Get your drinks, your bacon sandwiches. Do we still serve bacon sandwiches at this time of day? Nigel Spencer, welcome to the First Officers Club. Welcome. Thank you so much, Nigel, for supporting the channel. So many new channel members coming in today for our first stream back after a week and a half. We've had, through very kind donations as well, we've got 14 new channel members in today. That is amazing. Thank you, guys. Really do appreciate that on our evening flight to Palma from Birmingham. A real-world flight usually departs in a morning, however. Woodcote, how do I know the cost index? Right, so the cost index is set by the airlines. Each airline has a different one that they want to utilise. So yeah, it's not something a pilot chooses, it's something the airline chooses for them. Yeah, Flight 1001. Thank you for your channel membership as well. Saw that a little bit earlier on. Appreciate that. Hey Lana, so a question about the checklist. Are the lists I use public? They are available to download. Yeah, you can download the ones that I use. And that is available on our Discord server in the pilot's briefing room. Now, the next question, I know I can preempt this. The next question you're going to ask is, how close is it to the real world checklist? Well, I've got a real world checklist, and I've got the one in the pilot's briefing room. They are pretty identical. And by pretty much, I mean identical. The only thing that you're missing really is some emergency evacuation stuff on the back, but don't need that. Hey Ben, EasyJet don't use cost index for 8 anymore. No Ben, they've not used 8 for a long time, not sort of post-pandemic era. Everything's 4 now. 6 and 8 used to be very, very common, and yeah, now it's 4. Leanna, yeah, the document from the pilot's briefing room, that's the one. I think it is hitting out version 3. George90, thank you so much for the Prime sub on Twitch. Really do appreciate that. Amazing stuff. Thank you for your support. Right, let's do some other stuff then. Where are we? So, en route weathers. Paris is the obvious shout, isn't it? Oh, Paris. Probably look at Toulouse as well. Barcelona. They're all good places to dart into. Just check those out. Nope, sign out on the first officer's side. Hey Simon Taylor, great to have you on board live, mate. Hope you're well. EasyJet Ops, we were 18. No, we weren't. We were 10 minutes late. Right, who are we going to blame for this today then? Whose fault was it we were late? Let's have a look. Can't remember what the codes are. Kevin says blame Dark Fury. Or the ATR. Let's see what we're going. Incorrect departure time, new route. Late arrival, pushback crew. No. Ramp delays, ATC delays. I think it was just pilot error delay, really, wasn't it? Delay of inbound flight. Should we go with that? Oh, there's OTH. Oh, go on. Let's go with that. OTH. OTH. How many minutes was it? I can't remember how many minutes they were yelling at before. Was it 18? 10. 10 minutes. Okay. There. So, send that off there, happy. Let's have a look at our weather. So, what Paris is like. I can't imagine any of these being horrible weather-wise. Yeah, Cav OK on winds 0309. So, I mean, that's pretty much a crosswind, I think, for most of Paris runways, but not a very big one. What else we got? Lima Fox Bravo Oscar. Toulouse. Wing of the Prayer, hope he doesn't reply with a P45 message. Yeah, see that getting printed out. It's like when you get the load report. You don't want that either. Oh god, that's interesting. What's going on in Toulouse? So So winds are fine. Thunderstorms in the vicinity. Tempo, winds variable, 15, gusting 25, 3 kilometers visibility, lighter end thunderstorms, becoming no significant clouds. Presumably there's thunderstorms over the field and they're just drifting away. Fair enough. Maybe Toulouse isn't a place to go into if something goes wrong. What about Lyon? It's not a million miles away. Dark Fury, getting your P45 through ACARS, what would you do then? Pretend that I never received it. What ACARS message? So what's Leon doing? That's got thunderstorms in the vicinity as well. Ooh. South of France having some issues this evening. Leanna, P45 is basically your final payslip and tax form that you get here in the UK. Basically, if you get a P45, it's because you're leaving the company, either voluntarily or involuntary. Barcelona. Oh, Barcelona's fine. En route weather's fine. God, look how... I was going to say, look how dusky that is. Is that a word? Red, is my home airport Manchester? It's my closest major airport, yes. Woodson Williams, is there a way to separate the tiller from the rudder pedals in the Fenix? Yes, but it all depends on the axis that you've got. So you need to set up a rudder axis and you need to set up a tiller axis. So my tiller is set to my side stick, twist stick, and my rudder pedals are obviously set to the rudder pedals. Oh, Christian, is that little French village also fine as well? Brilliant. How's the sun doing? Is it set yet? Ooh, not quite. Won't be long. I do love the way that you've got vortices in the wake vortices in the contrails. I think that looks really nice. So I was just looking if we could climb a couple of thousand feet. However, we've got traffic above us 2,000 feet, so that's probably not a good idea. Let's have a look at landing calculation then. So if we have a look at this, looks like we're going to be landing with 59, 60, 61, 62 and a half. Yeah, about 62 and a half tons. We'll work on that. 24 left for arrival. Water brake low. Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's not exactly a short runway, is it? Well, that's the landing calculation done. The flight route we've got today as well, we've not really got anything that can shave any time off. It's pretty direct. Lana says us guys are forming a decent lineup on the VATSIM map. How many people are flying with us today? Andrew, is there any air traffic control at Palma? There was earlier. I don't know if there is currently. Sorry. Hey Gareth Morgan, have I ever done flight to Scathos? And if so, is it on you? Yes, we've done Scathos. A couple of times, I think. Hey Twarek68, how you doing, mate? Welcome on board. Yeah, Gareth, so we've done Scathos, what? 2, maybe 3 times. Always a good fun airport to get into. Narrow runway, non-precision approach.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Time to go and grab that food. Flight Simmer, what was on the menu for me tonight? What did we have for tea tonight? It wasn't that long ago. Oh, we had a gammon joint, but we didn't have it as a Sunday dinner. I couldn't be bothered to cook a full Sunday dinner, so we had gammon, eggs, pineapple, chips, veg. Hey, A320 lover. Hope you're well. We get a price. Can you get some peanuts, please? I think peanuts are on the menu. I can't remember. I think they are. Yeah, Flight Sim, it's always tasty. I love a bit of salty meat. You know I all like pork scratchings as well. Same deal. Oh, I've got an early start tomorrow morning. I'm actually doing... can't really complain. I'm actually doing an airport run tomorrow morning. So, early start, some ungodly hour. Hey, Wasps. No problem asking again, particularly if I missed it the first time. So, talking of cost index, you often see us during the initial climb drop the cost index to 0. Does this make the plane climb quicker, then why is a higher cost index equal to a faster journey? Right, so we've spoken a lot about this, and the first thing to say is cost index is not about speed. Or certainly not just about speed. It does affect it, but it affects a whole host of things. So not all airlines do the changing cost index kind of thing. That is just the standard operating procedure I'm following for the airline that we're obviously flying in now. That's one of the things they do. But what it does do is you lower that cost index is it steepens the rate of the climb it does reduce the speed a little bit. In order to reduce the speed, you pitch up to reduce the speed. So yeah, you do get your cruising altitude faster, which is great because it burns less fuel for a longer portion of your journey, doesn't it? But the cost index changes a whole other. There's lots of trade-offs. So the faster you fly, the more fuel you burn, but the less engine wear and tear you've got because the engines aren't running as long because they're not flying for as long. Whereas you go the other way, you have a low cost index, so your flight time is so your flight time is longer, but your engines are running for longer, so the maintenance costs could be a little bit higher, and it all depends on what your airline wants, and that's for people far cleverer than I to work out. You know, they sit there, they do their sums, and if by changing the cost index from 4 down to 0 saves 10 pence per flight, well, you add that up across the entire EasyJet fleet over the cost of a day, then multiply that over 365 days for the year, and suddenly you'll start to see that, you know, that might be a first officer's salary. It really is all about money, isn't it, in aviation? Alan Wolf, what is the maximum cost index? I think it's 999. Who'd use that? I've no idea. I would love to know. If there are any, what airline uses the highest cost index. And of course, you've got to remember different flights perhaps have different cost indexes, whereas EasyJet obviously is for pretty much across the board. But maybe sort of British Airways, when they're flying long haul or short haul, you know, they're going to vary them. Blue Grand PC 999 seems very efficient. Do you mean inefficient? 999 is basically the Jeremy Clarkson approach to flying, I think. Atlanta cost index does very little in the A320X. I'm not sure it does anything, to be honest, at the moment, Atlanta. I may be wrong, but last time I checked, it didn't change anything. Connor, do I use the Google mods? No, I don't know. Kevin, American Airlines uses 30 for flights less than 4 hours and 35 for longer. Is that right? Again, pencil pushers will have worked out that that is the thing to do. So why not? I mean, even if you selected the cost index to 999, your plane isn't going to fly that much faster. You know, it's got a speed limit. It's got a structural speed limit. So it's not going to change. It's not going to change VMO. What I don't understand, because obviously I'm more Airbus, is how the cost index sort of works in Boeing. Is it pretty much the same thing? You know, a number between 0 and 999. Danny says the old KLM 747 flights use a cost index of 300 or 250. I mean, that just seems like crazy fast for me. I mean, it does work here in the Phoenix, you know, if we have a bit of a play. Oh, hello, clouds. Ooh, I love that Earth shadow. How awesome does that look? You know, if we have a little look at that, just turn the brightness down on those. If we go to our cost index now, which we've got at 4, and we can see what the target is there. It's targeting what, about 257 or max 76. If we pop the cost index there of, oh god, let's be brutal, let's go 250. If I pop that in there, well, suddenly that's now targeting MMO. That's that's not good. Let's put that back. I'm not sure that's meant to happen, to be honest. Might have to try that on the real thing. see if it jumps up above the speed limit. Connor, how do pilots calculate flex temp without a tablet? They don't, Connor, they don't. Not anymore. In the olden days, they used to have lots and lots and lots and lots of papers. Every runway, every intersection, every runway condition, every wind variant. It was just a massive weight all sat there in the flight deck. Well, they've done away with that. They've got everything in a tablet and software now, and they can get an extra passenger on. Leanna, you make a good point there as well. Dispatchers can also choose a higher cost index if they need to. To be honest, it's not usually the dispatchers, Leanna, it's normally the pilots. So we spoke about this sort of scenario before. Let's say that we were flying to a Greek island, and you know what the Greek islands are like. There's not an ILS approach in sight. So they're doing a non-position approach. The winds have got a... the winds are in the wrong direction, so you're going to have to do a circle to land. You can only do a circle to land approach during daylight hours. For the airport, and it's starting to get dark, and you really look like you're going to be on the cusp of struggling for time to get in before the sun sets and it turns dark. So then you have to weigh this up as the pilot. Right, what do? Do we divert because we're not going to be able to get in? And then we have to have the aircraft out of position. We have to put all the passengers into a hotel for the night. We have to bus them to from the airport to the hotel, etc., and then sort that out in the morning. Or do we radio for ops and say, look, we want permission to fly faster, cost index 50 or whatever, because that's probably going to get us in time to be able to get into our actual destination. So then the dispatchers, the pencil pushers in the office, the ops will do whatever calculations they need to, work it out and go yay or nay. I mean, that's stuff that you have in real life that you can't really sort of replicate in the sim too much. Andrew, all that purple stuff on my navigation display, no, they're airports, mate. They're airports. So where are we right now? We're just, let's say it's easy to show you here, isn't it? Yeah. So there we are now. Just approaching that little French village and La Rochelle off to our right hand side. Fruitbat says it's probably an Excel document. It might be. We're almost over the meow. Never going to live that down, Christian. Hey, Antrak, good evening, mate. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Hey, Lufthansa Sim Pilot. Hope you're well. Now, I'm looking at this band of cloud that we appear to be approaching. Whereabouts? Whereabouts? Did all that nasty weather start? Oh, yeah, well, pretty much approaching it now then. I love that little area of icing there. That's weird, isn't it? Just here. How very triangular. Still think that is the greatest picture I've ever seen of a Sigmet chart. Which part of Europe has clouds? Yes. It's exactly the same part as the land. I mean, I think they've done a beautiful job. The clouds have done a beautiful job of portraying Spain, southern France, and someone says, yeah, don't forget about Italy. Alright, well, just stick a leg out. Danny, I think that might have been Lannis who said it was just nature's way of painting. It would be great to see a satellite image of that. Kingy T, what's the difference between RNAV approach and VNAV approach? Oh, right, so there's no such thing as a VNAV approach. RNAV approach is short for area navigation, which means you use GPS waypoints to build up your approach. VNAV approach is non-existent to my knowledge. But RNAV approaches, or now they're more commonly called RNP approaches, they usually have a specified altitude to be at for each of the waypoints in question. In fact, it's probably easier to try and show you than it is explained. So, for instance, we're doing an ILS Zulu approach today when we get to Palma, so happy with an ILS approach and how that works. But is there a corresponding RNAV approach? There usually would be. Yeah. Yeah, so here's an RNAV approach. Look, here's the RNAV approach that starts at Bavum, then comes into Papa Alpha 12 Echo, which is, you want to be at 3,000 feet, then at Papa Alpha 08 Echo, you want to be at 2,500 feet, and then it's a 3-degree descent from that waypoint, more or less, all the way down to the runway. Now, you can't auto-land with an RNAV approach. You can only do that with ILS approaches. But there's no physical radar beam being beamed out from the runway for this approach. It's just using these GPS waypoints, where, of course, with an ILS approach, they're based on actual radar beams that your aircraft locks onto. Arcfly, good evening. Flight 7001, what's my favourite airport to fly into, favourite approach? I love Tivat. I think Tivat is the worst place that anyone decided to build an airport, which consequently makes it a really nice, interesting approach to fly. I know Panda says, honestly, wouldn't mind some rain here in the UK. I was saying this to someone else this morning. I'm in danger of the grass dying off. And I'm trying to get it nice and thick, you know, for the kids to play on. I think the swing in the garden's kind of had its day, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to reseed under there soon. I not Panda, water the grass. Oh yeah, I know I could water the grass. I'm just too lazy. Like, come on. That's God's job. Lemon Wolf, Crazy Poach, Paro and Bhutan, yeah. Is that not flown in an A319? I've never seen an A320 do it. I've seen a 319 do it. That went dark quickly. Now, I think the moon should be coming up at some point. I was out around this time last night walking my first officer. The moon crept above the horizon. It was very orange. So, where are you? Ah, ha, ha. There it is. God, I love this sim. I literally, because I knew it was out last night. I don't know if it was full moon last night. I knew it'd be there. Joshua in Mallorca a week ago, the weather was lousy. It was warm in the UK. The UK has had some gorgeous weather over the last week, hasn't it? Andrew, can I do a long haul and a return? No. That doesn't. Pilots don't do that in real life. If they do a long haul, they're then checked into a hotel for the night. Sean says that last night was the strawberry moon, as it's called, as it's the first. It's the last and first full moon of spring, and so okay, the last full moon of spring and the first full moon of summer. Got you. Photographing it on my phone doesn't do it justice. Leanna, we can't fly into Grenoble. It's too easy to pronounce. Not enough fun to be made. What temperature is it? If we're going to be flying through some cloud layers, as you can just see, it's looking a bit hazy. I would imagine it's cold enough not to worry about anti-ice. Yeah, minus 55. A flight sim, what phone do I have? A smart one. Probably smarter than the user, to be honest. Look how orange that is. That really is giving it some. That's weird, that, isn't it? Danny, we've got an EasyJet vibe up in the cruise. What with the orange, orange sky, moon, and clouds? Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if there's any storms. There was some thunderclouds forecast beneath us en route, so might see a lightning strike. When was the stream recently? I say recently. The last couple of weeks that there was a lightning strike we saw. James, you've got a Nokia 3310. Do you know what I used to love doing? I used to love programming my own ringtones on those things. I spent ages doing it. What a geek. Dark Fury, that's it. Yeah, we were in Africa, weren't we? Coming into Nairobi. And we had a lightning strike down there. Hey, Scott Higgy says, enjoying the streams. Thank you, mate. And just starting in the fly-by-wire myself. Once I'm comfortable with it, I'll be going to VATSIM as well. Well, Scott, you've come to the right channel to learn the A320. It's pretty much what we fly exclusively. What's the difference between ILS or RNAV X, Y, Z for landing? You never know which one to choose. So, 9 times out of 10, Wasps, it's going to be Zulu. That's sort of the default choice. However, there are times when you need to check the charts. I can give you a perfect example of this. If we have a look at Berlin Brandenburg's arrivals. So let's have a look. Runway 25 left. Is it Berlin I'm thinking of? It might not be Berlin. I might be thinking of a different one. Is it Munich? I honestly can't remember which one it is now after that. Christian will help me out here. I thought Berlin had different approaches for the different transitions, but it doesn't. It's just got a singular. Dark Trial. No, Innsbruck's probably not the best example, to be honest. Alright, let me see. Has Zurich got a good example of this? Nope. The only time I want to have some Zulu approaches. I mean, to be honest, we've got Palma. So, but this. Here you go. We're coming in on the Zulu approach here. The only difference here is the go around. So if you look at the Zulu approach, the go around brings you in and then spits you out heading 193, and it's based on the Julia Oscar Alpha VOR. This one then is based on the NDB at Palma, so a different track showing there. So the go around track is the difference between the Zulu and the Yankee just there. Danny, let's try Rome then. What I'm looking for is ones where the approaches are actually different. Yeah, so they're both the same. Look, it's just the go around. The go around is different. The go around on X-ray there is straight out, whereas at Whiskey it's a left turn. But so the actual approach onto the ILS, they're all exactly the same for both of those. But there are some airports where the approaches are different, so you do need to check them. It depends which VIA you're coming in via. I'll just try Athens. So that's the initial approach for Yankee. Initial, yeah. So again, all those arrivals are the same. The go around is different. So I'm trying to find one where the arrival itself is different, not just the go around. Runway 10. Okay, yeah, that's not a bad example. So the Zulu approach brings you in on a DME arc. The Yankee approach has you flying sort of a procedure arrival coming in. So there's a little difference there. Connor has suggested, and then Bergen. Oh, actually Amsterdam. Yeah, that's a good shout, Christian, because they've got the nighttime ones, haven't they? So if we have a look at, where's the famous one? Is it 18 right, isn't it? Ah, okay, so might not be the best example actually, because so the guy was asking about the different approaches with refers to ILS Zulu, ILS X-ray, and that not so much the different nighttime transitions, the ILS transitions and the R&B transitions. So has Bergen got something similar? Let's have a look. ILS Whiskey. Alright, RMP Zulu. RMP Whiskey. Yeah, okay, so that's... Alright, these are RMP approaches, but not ILS approaches. So you can see, so the Zulu approach either comes in via Godit or Rivip, whereas the Whiskey approach comes in via Tameg. Yeah, that's not a bad example. Wow, that cloud layer thickened up, didn't it? Cloud surfing. Benjamin, does Basel have different ILS? Yeah, fair enough. Normally, it's the missed approach that's different, but always worth checking because some of them will have different actual approaches as well. Jewish Farmer 113. Good evening, sir. Hope you are well. Right, we've got about an hour to go, something like that. Yeah, about an hour to go. So what will I do? You know, we talked about just jumping the cost index up. Go on, let's push the boat out. Christian, you always take the whiskey approach into pubs. Haha, but. Jewish Farmer, you rage quit Microsoft Flight Simulator about 20 minutes ago. That sounds like a crash to desktop. May have been the cause for that. Christian Simon says bed is calling, wishing you a happy landing. Good evening, Christian. Thank you for being here. Good to see you again, mate. Glad to have you back on board after a week or so away. Connor, what point in the Flight D program your approach phase? The actual approach that you're going to be doing, already done. You do it on the ground, and that's for fuel planning purposes, so that your aircraft, you know what it is that what fuel you're going to be planning to land with and things like that. Hey Nolex, Dan, you're back from your trip out. How's the beach? The flat rings of Kerry. Hey Brian, did I have a good break? No, I'd rather have been here. I just felt like rubbish for the past week or so, but glad to be back here now. Just from you've been getting super frustrated trying to use the fly-by-wires, but do, and you get to figure out how to get IFR clearance. So Juice Farmer, you stick with us, mate. And if you want a lot of tutorials, then do go and check out my YouTube channel, which is the same name, EasyJet Sim Pilot, over on YouTube. Literally just flooded with complete walkthroughs. In fact, there is a full cold and dark to landing and shutdown walkthrough in the fly-by-wire. I forget where that flight took you, actually. It was that long ago I did it. The Fenix one did Gatwick to Prague, I think. I've no idea where the fly-by-wire flight took you from. It was that long ago. I want to say Manchester to somewhere, but I've no idea where. And thank you for the follow, Jewish Phone. Thomas, at which point do you activate the approach phase in the McDo? So my trigger for that is about 10,000 feet. Because by that point, you're usually on selected speed anyway, 250 knots. So yeah. Right, we've still got traffic knocking about behind us. Or are they above us now? Ah, they're in front of us. Who's that that's just stuck in front of us? Can we see them? They must literally be right on top of us. Where are you? Can't see you. Oh, there he is. Danny, no, not the beginner's flight. There's a full tutorial series set of videos over about 8 different videos. Oh, I think it went down to Faro. Of course it did. Yeah, it went to Faro, didn't it? From Manchester, I'm going to say, at a guess. Ascot 252's in the chat and he's not pleased. Why is that? Flew the headwind 330 on a 10-hour flight from Tokyo to Abu Dhabi. Crashed the desktop 10 minutes before descent. No! However, Ascot 252, we had something similar happen to us on our long-haul flight in the A330, but within less than 10 minutes we were back up and running as though nothing had ever happened. So it is possible to restart and still keep the realism. Scotty, am I into football? Is that a Mancunian accent? How very dare you. I'm at the other side of the Pennines. I'm a blues fan from the other side of the Pennines. Currently a very happy blues fan from the other side of the Pennines. I'm presuming that yeah, oh, there's a lovely view to sit and look at for the next half an hour or so. Yeah, so Ascot 252, Christian has just made a good shout as well. If you've been using SimBridge, there is some apparent issues with SimBridge at the moment. Lots of people causing crash to desktops, so might be worth keeping that. Turned off for the time being. Danny, just realised it's cloudy even at cruise. Yeah, indeed. And it was forecast up to 41,000 feet, so very, very accurate. Juice Farmer 13, don't give up on the fly-by-wire. The fly-by-wire mod is absolutely amazing. Seriously, mate, if you want to learn it, find the channel here over on YouTube. Find the playlist A32NX full flight tutorial, and it'll literally take you through every step of the flight, and you'll be flying in no time and be wondering how you ever managed to fly the default A320. Scotty, well, Manchester sadly now is my local airport. Now Doncaster's shut down. We do fly from Manchester a lot though, Scotty. I do like Manchester. Ascot LBA, do you know what? I've got scenery for Leeds Bradford. Never flown into it. I've got the scenery, it's loaded in. I'm looking at it now in my community folder, and I've not flown there. Now, what we need to do is I'd like to do a rotation from Leeds, because they do a real live EasyJet flight, and that's Belfast to Leeds, which isn't a long flight, so we can probably get the a 2-sector flight in there one day. Christian, you're reading an article with all the items banned from hand luggage on UK flights, and one of them is hoverboards. It's impossible to say that without suddenly thinking of the Back to the Future theme, right? I'm not on my own there, surely. Danny, always been wondering this. When selecting an approach in the Airbus, they always give you the different runway, ILSs, RNAVs, etc. Depending on that, then it gives you the stars. What if you don't know the runway? It's on your flight plan, Danny. It's on your flight plan, and then once you're in the air, it's on the ATIS. So, that's it. Plus which, if worst came to the worst, let's say you're doing a long haul in the 330 and you're going to JFK, chances are the weather and the runways may change, and you just got to accept that. Put what you're thinking and work with it. Thomas, you used to run the ground station of VATSIM a few years ago at Liverpool. I like Liverpool Airport. Great little airport. Huge EasyJet base as well. Danny, can you only program a start into McDo and then the ILS or the VOR later? What you could do, Danny, is you could... I jumped to the secondary flight plan for this. Yes, what you could do is... Let's say... I'm going to put the arrival in. Instead of putting an ILS, Yankee, or Zulu, or anything like that, you could just put a runway in. So, obviously you've got RNAVs, you've got localizers, this has got ND... Does that have NDB approaches in as well, or have I just made that up? Just going off there. A little bug. Yeah, NDB approaches as well. They're old. So what you could do is you could just select a runway. No approach, but just a runway. So there you go. 6 left, 6 right, 24 left, 24 right. And that's no ILS. That is just basically a direct track to the runway from your last waypoint. Rather than specialising and saying, yeah, I want an ILS or an RNAV. So you could do it that way. Not NJF, hi mate, on Twitch. So, when you're programming the FMGC on the inner A page, there is space for the tropopause. Indeed there is. Probably should never know where to find it on the operational flight plan. I don't know about other operational flight plans. I use the EasyJet layout, obviously. And that, in SimBrief, your tropo is found just here. So, yeah, in the EasyJet layout, the tropopause is given there. I'm not sure about LIDAR or anything like that. Christian, the pressurization book happens when you change the approach. I had read that actually, but I just wanted to check you guys hadn't broke anything. I know what you're like.
Traffic crossing, runway 14 left, runner 8125.
Everything's fine, working and normal. Well, that's a bit dark. Someone did ask earlier as well about the flight deck and keeping it dark in real life, or do you normally have the lights on? Usually, unless you're sort of reading an approach brief or something, keep it dark in real life because it's better for your eyesight and your visual acuity. Obviously, you can see much better when it's dark.
Traffic, Ryanair 8125, runway 14 left, vacated.
Michael, what is the correct procedure for this? You're under 10,000 feet and approaching waypoint A with an airspeed constraint of 220 knots. After that, waypoint B doesn't have any specific constraint. You remain at 220 if it's after it. Yeah. Christian, maybe someone opened the cabin door like on the Vietnam airline flight the other day. That was just an absolute wreck of a thing to do, wasn't it? What was going on there? Right, now, speaking of briefs, let's get some light on the situation. Get our tray out, and we'll start looking at our arrival briefs. So let's just go through the charts, get the information that we need, because we're not too far away now. So we're going to be coming in on runway 33. Let me just get the latest weather actually. If we get this. So what time was that? That was about 15 minutes ago. So winds 180 at 2. Very, very light crosswind. Why is my pen not working? Oh, there we are. 180 at 2. So very light crosswind. All the 9s. Visibility is okay. Few clouds at 2,000 feet. 22 degrees. QNH is 1015. No significant changes planned. So coming in, Laura's 1 Papa arrival. POS will program, and then it's the ILS 24 left Zulu approach. Julia Oscar Alpha is another VOR that will pop into the RadNav page. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. Platform altitude is at 4,000 this one? Oh no, it's much lower than that. It's 2.5. MSA as we are coming in is 5,500 feet. Just check the weather. Runway visibility is well above 550 meters, so it's going to be Cat 1 conditions, manual landing 239. ILS identifier is India Papa Alpha Lima, and the track is 237. Airfield elevation 8, and our missed approach is out with a left-hand turn on the 193 radial from Son Saint-Jean. That turn begins at 420 feet and climbing up to 3,000 feet. Hey, you're not getting Jeff. Unrelated question. Talking about the Garmin G1000 mod. I don't use that, I'm afraid, so I'm not able to help you with that, Jeff. Sorry about that. So, let's get rid of that and just check out the arrival, make sure everything looks like it should. Pause, Bavum, Obum, and there's the final approach track. Speeds there actually look quite good, so I'm happy to leave those. RadNav page, we just said we'll pop in the POS, and we've got, try that again. Probably the POS and the St John VOR, which is on the airfield. Turn those on. Leper 2 4 left, 200 miles to run. Cost index of 50, we know that. Let's fill in the information for the weather. 1015. Temperature was 22. That's quite warm at this time of night, isn't it? Winds 180 at 2. Minimum's 239. It's a nice long runway, so if we just double check our landing performance calculation, has that been stored there? Yeah. Flap 3 is fine. Better for the locals at this time of night. Landing weight is what we've planned. Second flight plan, just copy that. Alright, box is set up. Okay then guys, let's do our brief there. We can chill out for the remainder of the flight. Top of descent is in about 100 miles anyway. So the weather in Palma is gorgeous. Winds are almost non-existent, 180 at 2, visibility is 10 kilometers or more. Got a few clouds, 2,000 feet, and it's 22 degrees. QH is 1015, so I'll just set that up now. Well, so yeah, nothing to worry about with the winds. Aircraft is still working, no one's broken anything, no times that are going to affect us. Some closures come in a couple of hours time, but yeah, it's not going to take us that long to get in, is it? So that's fine. Threats to be aware of, for those of you familiar with Palma will know, there is terrain to the north of the airfield. So you see this little segment, MSA 7000, that shouldn't affect us. Our MSAs we're going to be coming in is 5,500 feet. Be aware, of course, with those clouds, 2,000 feet, that will be obscuring some of this. So just keep that sort of visual perception of where we are, spatial awareness and things, just in case anything goes wrong. A little bit of terrain down there as well that could potentially also be hidden once we're above that cloud base. So yeah, basically the you know, the only real threat is the weather and lack of air traffic control. But other than that, should be pretty straightforward. So what we're planning the Lores 1 Papa arrival. We'll complete all this in managed descent mode. There is speed constraints, but there are no flight level constraints, which is fine. The idea is to be roughly about 5,000 feet at Pollença, and then from there we get down to 2,500 feet at Abumu. We get down quite early if we can, and then we'll be able to slow our aircraft down with a very steady descent. We'll probably pick up the glide slope earlier than when we get here anyway, so that's fine. In terms of configuring green dot by Pollença, flaps 1 as we sort of look to leave it, and then flaps 2 with the glide slope as per usual. Once we've landed, then we'll vacate at Sierra 2 is the norm, and our stands are bloody miles away, so they're round here. So it's going to be a long taxi after our evening flight today. It's going to be what is it? So Sierra 2, and then we're going to be taxiing on a little bit of the south, then link, and then the north, and then if we come in via in fact no, we'll taxi we'll taxi on the link and then come in on Foxtrot. So then it's going to be Foxtrot, Lima Foxtrot, Lima Echo, and then Lima Delta, and basically any of these stands here, sort of 2 through to 8, these remote stands is where the EasyJets normally are parked up. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're going. Right, let's go through the box, show you guys what we've got in there. So just confirmation, Lotus 1 pop arrival, 24 left, ILS approach. That approach itself is pretty straightforward, normal ILS 3-degree approach. And if we just check out the information, how wide is our runway? It's a normal 45-degree runway, sorry, 45-meter runway. PAP is set to 3 degrees as well, so follow those as we're going down. No black hole effect as we've got to land, so that's nice. Coming in the other way, it's a little bit different, so this one should be a bit easier visually to follow. So that's all confirmed in there. Radar page, we've got the VOR on the airfield in VOR1. We've got POS, which is part of the approach, VOR2. Progress page is all filled out. It's got left 24 left on there. The approach itself, we've got VAP is 142, minimums 239, and we're doing a flaps 3 landing, cleans 226. We've done our landing calculation, looking to land at around 63.5 ton, and secondary flight plan is just the same as our active. If we need to go around, the go around is pretty straightforward, so we climb out, and then at 420 feet it's a left turn, and we're then looking to intercept that 139 radio from the San John VOR, climbing to 3,000 feet, contact ATC, vector ourselves back in. And breathe. All done. Thomas, how are we working out top of descent? Ah, the beautiful aircraft does it for us. But you can use the rule of 3 as well if you need to. Gorgeous view.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Good night, J-Hog. Hope you are, hope you're well. Don't work too hard tomorrow. You're retired. You don't work hard. Night, mate. Ah, Pack Andrew still ruining the day. The fact that we've got no air traffic control. I'm sorry, Andrew. Should have flown to Lisbon instead, should we? ATC down there. Jumpy Bender. Is a great question. How do you know what flaps to do and literally everything else I just said? Practice and tuition, I guess. Jumpy is the is the short answer. I had good trainers and instructors. That's mainland Spain, isn't it? Do we fly over Barcelona today? Or are we... Oh yeah, Barcelona's just over there to our right. So we've got Girona is down there somewhere, and... Can we see? Let's just see first officer view. No, there's Barcelona down there. Oh, gorgeous view. Pack Andrew, will I be flying tomorrow night? Maybe, Andrew. Maybe. We shall see. Jordan, flap rings have certainly been spoken about on our Discord earlier. Not a day goes by without speaking about those. Usually when Nolex Dan comes on board. The flap rings of Kerry. Oh god, that just sounds even worse. I've just heard that back. Looks like we've got an aircraft down there going into Barcelona. Hey, P-Bass, what coast is this? This is, that's Barcelona down there. So yeah, it's the southern Spanish coastline.
Barcelona traffic is E34, November Papa, established runway 24 right.
That's that aircraft that we've just seen. Established runway 24 right, a fellow EasyJet aircraft. So it's looking good from 35,000 feet. So as we leave the Spanish mainland, please, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button for me if you've enjoyed our stream this evening. A nice 3-hour stream to finish off the week on a Sunday. Great to be back here with you guys. Definitely missed streaming and chatting with all of you over the last week and a half or so. So huge thanks, guys, for being here this evening. And as I say, if you haven't done so already, please do hit that like button, as it does make a big difference to the channel. Thank you so much if you've done that already for me. As Barcelona down there. Looks like that EasyJet aircraft's going to have the airport to himself, isn't he? Now that is a gorgeous view. That is stunning. Jordan says she missed out on a load on the Discord since being back at work. Need to get involved more. Oh, Jordan, you really do. in the members lounge. That aircraft up there just looks like a meteor burning up. Little stream tail behind it. That'll be the SpaceX program. Yeah, Leanna, you can't see all those stars. Do you know one of the things that really bugs me?
Traffic, Alpine 79 Alpha Whiskey, flight 370. We're sending now initially to flight level 100 for the Lores 1 Juliet approach into default.
Into the what? 1 Juliet approach? Dark, where are you going? Are you using the nighttime approach, Dark?
Correction, the Lores 1 kilo for Alpine 7 Alpha Whiskey.
If you're going to cut me up, at least do the right approach, mate. Yeah, so one of the things that just bugged me a little bit about the stars is it does just look like a bit of a bitmap image, doesn't it? You can zoom in and the stars suddenly get bigger. Really, there should just be little pinpoints of light. Oh, there he is. Oh my god, he actually does look like he's falling out of the sky. Look at that. This flight is sponsored by Elon Musk. What's your VS rate, Dark? It's about 6,000 feet per minute. To the EasyJet aircraft ahead of us, this is Alpine 13 Mike Romeo, also on the Lores 1 Popper. Aircraft ahead of company, can you just confirm your speed, please?
Alpine 18 Mike Romeo, this is company Alpine 7 Alpha Whiskey, speed is 280, Mike decimal 78.
Roger, thank you, Alpine 18 Mike Romeo. Okay, so we're obviously going to stay Just under that,
Don't pull
otherwise.
a lick on me.
As if. Let's, right, we're at our top of descent now anyway, so we're going to get down flight level 150, and if we use open descent, because we are just a tad late, we don't want to VMO that. So, there we go. Just idle over return 150 blue, down we go. Just going to keep our speed below 280. We will go 270, and that'll be fine. And Alpine 18 Mike Romeo, we're going to descend also now on the Lores 1 Papa, and we'll maintain speed 270. Alpine 18 Mike Romeo. NullX2411, Dan, been saving for this one, 12 months in this madhouse, but it's been the best 12 months in a community ever. Here's to many more. Oh mate, thank you so much, it's great to have you. Mr. Flatring himself, NullX2411, it's been awesome, Dan. Thank you so much for your support over the last year. That is fantastic, amazing stuff, thank you so much. Danny, they really should increase that 30 knot taxi speed restriction when taxiing in Madrid. Madrid is worse than Schiphol, isn't it? Madrid is just ridiculous. Right, just looking at where this has got us levelling off. Levelling off flight 150 there. Yeah, that's not going to work for me. We need to get down. So Dark Fury is well beneath us. Let's wind that speed up. And we're not going to overtake him. We're just going to get down faster. Let's get that profile brought back up. Vidcon was Superfan. Do I prefer the Fenix or the fly-by-wire? Main differences between them. Main difference is just more completed systems with the Fenix A320. That's basically it. The fly-by-wire is great, absolutely fantastic for sort of your day-to-day flying, everything working, and no abnormal operations or anything like that. The Fenix A320 just takes it bit more to the next level, you know, with all the ECAM messages, warnings, failures, little things that can go wrong, little intricacies, secondary flight plan, that kind of thing, cost index, all working perfectly and stuff. So that's the main difference. Yeah, Danny, that's the other thing with Madrid. There's a complex series of taxiways there. How are we doing with our progress? Quite high. Tell you what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to pull heading and we're just going to continue on this just for a little bit of separation. Let's wind that speed back up again and continue with our descent. Now we're out of the way of Dark Fury. Clear skies as well, so once we're below MSA, you know.
Alpine 18 Mike Romeo, company traffic 79 Alpha Whiskey. If you want to descend quicker, we can pull our speed and reduce speed because we're a bit too low.
Roger, we'll go there and we'll turn now direct to Papa Oscar Sierra and we'll increase our rate of descent then. Alpine 18 Mike Romeo.
Roger that, we'll reduce our speed back down to 250, that's to maintain separation for you.
Many thanks. Don't call me Nick. Alpine 18 Mike Romeo.
Oh, sorry, Dan.
Okay, back nav, direct Papa Alpha Sierra. And Jordan Benson also celebrating 2 months of Captain Level membership. Jordan, that is awesome. Says observer for many months, but 2 months as a member. Great community. Cheers for the stream as always, Cap. Jordan, you are more than welcome, mate. Thank you so much for all your support you've given to the channel as well over all the many months you've been here. Really do appreciate that. Right, just final confirmation that we don't have any ATC. No, we're going to be on our own, so that's fine. See if we see any ships as we start to come in. We'll get rid of that. Don't need that for now. But yeah, this is this is it. We're on our way down.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Now that is a really nice looking approach, isn't it? Alright, so 5,000 feet, QNH 1015, 5,000 blue. Let's see what sign's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return to your seats and ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. If you are traveling with an infant, please ensure that they are secured safely using the infant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So a bit of spoilerage out just to help us with that. Looks like we're going to get back on profile around Papasca Sierra, so that's fine. The approach checklist then, so Barra QNH is 1015, seatbelt signs are on, minimums are 239, auto brake low, and EFB is stowed. Don't need speed brakes, go away. Right, start winding that speed back now a little bit. And Alex, our easy points tax free. Yeah, of course they are, mate. Of course they are. All tax free.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed that we have just begun our final descent into our destination. If you could now assist the cabin crew by tidying up your tray table and handing them any litter as they come around, that would be most appreciated. For safety reasons, we ask now that you please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode until after we have landed. Please note that the aircraft toilets are now out of use. If you wish to become a EasyJet Sim Pilot channel member, please contact a member of your cabin crew who will be happy to assist you. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed.
Palma traffic, Alpine 18 Mike Romeo is overhead the Papa Oscar Sierra VR. Lores 1 Papa arrival, ILS runway 24 left.
Palma area traffic, outline 79 Alpha Whiskey, reducing our speed now to 220 knots to main separation from the company aircraft. We're just over the Papa Oscar Sierra for 24 left.
And Alpha 1 my Romeo is maintaining speed 250 knots. C Delta mate, thank you so much for your 5 months channel membership. Says you've done his first ever VATSIM flight today. Was that today? Oh, that is amazing. How was it? I bet you never want to go back now, do you? Runway is in sight. Nabil Games also celebrating 3 months of channel membership. Thank you so much, Nabil. I am much better. Great to have you on board for our arrival now as we come in. That's 10,000 feet.
Found traffic, EZY 58 Kilo, fully established, 6 miles behind.
Right, just struggling to bleed off a little bit of speed here, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go open descent. We'll get some spoils out. Drop the speed and start configuring. So thrust idle, open descent, and we want 4,000. We are quite high here. And lock blue, lock star, $18 miles out. Aircraft's rather slippery, so why aren't we slowing down? We're in open descent, so there's no reason we shouldn't be. So glide slope capture from above is possible now as we've got localizers shown.
Found traffic, EZY 58 Kilo.
We'll slow down on the localizer. We'll be able to make this. It's fine. All glide slope blue lock cat through. There we go. Glide slope star cat through to all autopilot 1 and 2.
Palma traffic on that Whiskey Fox located from it for left.
Right, now let's slow our aircraft down. So 12.5 miles. Yeah, 12.5 miles to slow down is going to be fine. Pop that spoilers away. Flaps 1, speed's checked. Flaps 1. This is what happens when you don't fly for a week. So if I need to, I'll throw the gear out. We've still got 10 miles to play with. Give it a couple of miles, see what's happening. We've also got a bit of a tailwind though, so that's probably not going to help us. Palma traffic, Alpine 18 Mike Romeo is established runway 24 left, 10 mile final. And Bill, what are my thoughts on buttering the landing? That's sort of last out of the 3. Centerline, touchdown zone. Then butter it if you can.
2,500.
Made altimeter alive.
Palma traffic, Alpine 79 Alpha Whiskey, steps on the localizer at 13 mile.
Sean, perfect timing. You was you were in the shower.
86 Kilo, vacated 24 left, that's Sierra 1.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to need that gear to help us. And that's fine. It's okay, gear down. Mr. Approach altitude is set. Flaps 2. And flaps 3. Landing checklist. Cabin secured, go around altitude is 3,000 feet. Set ECAMMO, landing no blue. Right, let's bring her in, shall we?
$1,000.
1,000 feet. Yeah, so a bit quick on the approach, but kept at the high speed just to get us down, really. Once we were happy we were going to get down, then we could slow down. We needed a bit of help with the landing gear just to get that drag down to 200 knots, and I could start configuring. Anyway, autoparts disconnected, I have control. Wind's very variable. We have a tailwind as well. 11 knot tailwind. Careful with that. Oh, UFO.
$500.
Stable. Let's get back on that centre line. We just drifted a little bit over to that left. See if we can still get a decent landing after a week off. 2 whites, 2 reds.
$100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
$50, $40, $30, $20. Retard. 5.
Okay, so we've got spoilers deployed, reverse screen, decel. Manual brakes. And reverse to idle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you...
Palma Traffic, runway 24 left vacated.
Seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. Ladies and gentlemen, for promotions and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter, or EasyJet app.
Oh, I do wish they'd fix that bug. Right, let's go and park up somewhere. How was the landing then in the end? Any good? Hey Andrew, good night mate. Thanks for being here. I think Dark Fury's just touched down as well.
Palma Traffic, Alpine 79 Alpha Whiskey, vacated 24 left.
Wow, Dark, were you using max manual braking? Seemed to expedite his his vacating nice and quick. 172 for the landing. Yeah, we'll take that any day, won't we? Centre line and touchdown zone, obviously more important, but there we are. Hey George, glad you enjoyed the flight, mate. If you are on your way out after touching down, then please do hit that like button as you depart. Of course, really, you should remain into your seat until the aircraft has come to a complete and safe stop. Welcome to Palma.
Palma traffic, Lufthansa 1 Romeo Golf on final 24 left, 10 miles.
Wondering now if the all-inclusive bar's still open. That's not bad actually. Flight time's about 2 hours, and we've got 2 hours 1 minute there. That works well. Other things to check, so brake temperatures, they're quite cold, 85 degrees. 3.5 tonne of fuel left on board. There's that terrain we can see in the moonlight that we spoke about. Runway 24 is much more challenging to negotiate. Right, where's Foxtrot? There it is. I do think it's great scenery, this as well. I think it's just Sim's Palma aircraft. So stand 8 or stand 10? Can't remember. Where did we suggest? Stand 8. Which is the first stand after the main terminal just here, but we've got good taxiway markings, so we should be able to find it. Sean says, nicely done again with no rustiness by the looks of things. I mean, the Airbus is just such a beautiful aircraft to fly. In some respects, it allows you to be rusty. This is why I think handcrafted airports have so much going for them over the default ones. Not that by, you know, past comparisons and incarnations of flight simulators, the default ones are bad. The handcrafted ones and payware ones are just unbelievably good. And night terminal lighting, for example, is just another level. Right, stand 10, and we want stand 8. There we go. Yeah, remote stand. Actually, it might have. Has he got a jetway, this one? Might have, you know.
Lufthansa 1 Romeo Golf vacated 24 left.
And stopped. Great stuff. Right, parking brake is set, and we are done, guys. Thank you so much. Welcome to Palma, and there is, I think that's Dark Fury taxiing in very quickly next to me. All done. Let's shut our aircraft down. So. Engine number 1. Oh, do you know what we haven't done? You know, you said there was no rustiness. There is rustiness. I'm not starting the APU. I'm not going to shut those engines down until we've done that. Otherwise, I'm just going to plunge the entire cabin into darkness, and that would not make the passengers very happy. Dark you on the left. Oh, in that case, I've no idea who's on the right then. Right. APU needs to start. Well, guys, whilst I'm waiting for that to do, thank you so much for being here tonight. A huge shout out to all our EasyJet Simpilot channel members, and those of you who have also donated channel memberships as well. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the last 3 hours of my company. I have certainly enjoyed yours. It is great to be back streaming. Not sure if we're going to be back tomorrow. Full day working, sadly, tomorrow. As for the rest of the week, as always, make sure you check out the Discord server, and as always, I will be announcing forthcoming flights on there. Captain HW says, looking forward to the next intro. I can't promise there's not going to be a different one every time, mate. That's just not going to happen. It took far too long to create that one. But guys, I really hope you did like the new intro as well. And if you haven't seen that, then do rewind the stream once we're done and check that out, and yeah, leave a comment down below on the video with your thoughts on our new intro for our streams. So guys, thank you so much. Wonderful to be with you. Looking forward to our next flight together already. No idea when that will be, no idea where that will be too, but of course I shall let you all know in due course on Discord. Thanks so much, everyone. I will see you all again on the next flight. Have a great Sunday evening. The weekend's now over pretty much. But have a great Sunday evening, and I'll see you all again very soon. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.